is a beginner-friendly Pilates mat flow. Now, if you just stumbled upon this class, maybe via search, then I wanted to give you a heads up that this is part of a larger Intro to Pilates series. There's a welcome video that explains everything about the series, and then there are a couple mini lessons and mini classes that come before this. So if you want to do things sequentially, I would start with that welcome video and go in order, but you absolutely don't have to. This is a great standalone class as well. So if you're just looking for a beginner-friendly Pilates mat flow, let's get to it, okay? For equipment, we just want a small pillow. So grab a throw pillow off your couch, something like that. If you don't have a throw pillow on hand, you could also take a towel, fold it in half, and then roll it into a cylinder. So it's about the width of a small pillow. We'll use it just a couple times throughout class, but we won't need it at first, so you can kind of put it off to the side. So let's come down to the mat, and we're going to warm up laying on our back with our knees bent and our feet on the floor. And I want you to take your hands to either side of your rib cage. You can either do it like this with your elbows wide, or if this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, take opposite hand to opposite side of your ribs so you're kind of hugging yourself, okay? So whatever is most comfortable for you. I like wide, but do what works. And we're just gonna focus on diaphragmatic breathing to start. So as you inhale through the nose, I want you to focus on expanding your rib cage into your hands. As you exhale slowly out through the mouth, you should feel your ribs move gently in and down as you engage through the abdominal wall. So it's slow in through the nose, expand into your hands. Slow out through the mouth. Ribs gently close in and down. Keep going like that. On that inhale, there's a relaxing of the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, there's a gentle lift of the pelvic floor. Make sure you're not hiking your shoulders up towards your ears, so we're not holding tension there. Direct the breath down into your rib cage. Expand those hands on the inhale and gently close them on the exhale. Just one more breath like this. And now from here, we're going to warm up through the shoulders a little bit. I want you to reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Now we're neutral through the spine here, so you have a natural curve to your low back, but make sure you're not excessively arching it up to the ceilings. So on an inhale, I want you to reach your arms up to the ceiling, protracting your shoulder blades. So your shoulder blades are going to kind of slide wide towards your armpits. And then as you exhale, I want you to retract the shoulder blades. So you're going to think of pulling your arms away from the ceiling. The shoulder blades slide together behind your back. Inhale, shoulder blades slide wide, arms reach up. Exhale, draw them back. So we're focusing on the gliding motion of our shoulder blades across the back of our rib cage. They sort of squeeze in towards each other and then slide away from each other. Your hands are staying equidistant, so picture you are holding a paper towel roll as you do this. Now you will see this retraction, protraction later in class, which is why I wanted to include it here in the warm-up. Let's do one more. You inhale, reach those arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades in. And then I want you to just settle in between those two extremes at neutral, and we're going to go into arm circles. So you're going to inhale, the arms are going to go overhead. You're going to exhale, you circle them down to your side and around. And of course, make pillows in the way. Inhale them up. Exhale, sweep them down and around. So we're mobilizing through the shoulder joint. Make sure that you don't totally flare open through your ribs though as the arms go wide. Now we're going to switch directions. So as you inhale, I want you to lower the arms down towards your feet. Exhale, circle them up and around. So if you are following along in our Intro to Pilates series, this first total body beginner class is where we start to put together all the things we've been talking about and working on in the previous lessons. I want you to stop with those arms overhead, or just kidding, you can bring them all the way down to your side. Now with your arms down by your side, I want you to take your right foot and I want you to just step it out about 6 inches so it's angled out wide. And from here, we're just going to drop the knee in a little bit, rolling to the inner edge of the foot, and then drop it wide, rolling to the outer edge of the foot. So just a little gentle mobilization through the hip joint on this right side. Your left foot is staying planted and still. We let it drop open. and in. Now we're keeping our hip bones anchored to the floor, okay? So it's just the legs sort of windshield wipering within the hip joint. We're not rolling through our pelvis. One more this side. And then I want you to step that foot back into hips distance apart. And now same thing on the left. So take your left foot, step it out wide. And then we just gently let the knee drop in and let it go wide. Keeping our hips anchored down to the floor. Inhale, it drops in. Exhale, wide. It doesn't have to be a huge range of motion, okay? Just gently rolling inner edge of foot, outer edge of foot. One more time. And then let's step that foot back in. So feet are hips distance apart. Now you're going to keep your arms down by your side for this, but I'm just going to reach mine up to the ceiling so you can see what's going on. So our starting position is a neutral spine. So we have the natural curve to our lower back, but it's not excessive. We're going to move between neutral into what's called an imprint position, lengthening our back onto the mat. So on an exhale, I want you to engage through your core and start to lengthen your lower back, drawing the hip bones and bottom ribs towards each other, gently flattening that lower back towards the mat. And then as you inhale, I just want you to release it, coming back to neutral, allowing that natural curve back into the lower spine. Exhale, lengthen. So it's a gentle posterior pelvic tilt. Inhale to release to neutral. Now keep going like this. As you do this, I want you to notice, are you squeezing your butt? I don't want the glutes to kick in, okay? So we are using our abdominals to bring ourselves into that imprint position. We're not doing it by squeezing our glutes and tucking the tailbone under that way, okay? So think abdominals, hold the position, not glutes. One more time. Imprint. Release to neutral, and now we're going to come into some core work. Now I'm going to cue the core work in neutral, but at any point throughout this, if you start feeling it more in your lower back than your abdominals, that is a sign that you should probably take imprint, okay? That lengthening. By lengthening, you're going to shut off those paraspinals, those back muscles that are clenching, and it'll help you access the abdominals on the front a little more, okay? So neutral, but if it doesn't work, take imprint at any time. So you're going to start with arms down by your side. We're open through the chest. And I want you to take your right heel and just lift it off the mat. So left foot stays planted. We're just lightly on the ball of the right foot. Now on an exhale, you're going to feel the brace of the abdominal wall. Once you feel the abdominals kick in, you're just going to lift that right knee up to tabletop. And then as you inhale, you're going to return the ball of the foot down to the mat. So we're moving slowly with our breath here. And think breath first. So start the exhale, initiate the breath, feel the core engagement, then you move the leg. So establishing that connection between core and breath here. They are one and the same. They work together. Twice more. And then plant that right foot all the way down to the ground. We're going to take it into an ab curl now. So I want you to take your hands to the base of your skull, not your neck, base of the skull. On an exhale, you're going to gently nod the chin, and you're going to come up into an ab curl. You're thinking of folding at the sternum, your gaze is at the knees. Inhale to lower. Now your elbows are wide, but not so wide that you can't see them in your peripheral vision. If you go too wide through the elbows, you're going to flare through the ribs, and we don't want that. Exhale, ab curl. Inhale, lower. It's a gentle nod of the chin, but you're not jamming it down into your chest. And we're really trying to get those shoulder blades off the mat, just coming to the bottom of the shoulder blades. Now we're going to put the two movements we've done together. We're going to do an ab curl, and as we do an ab curl, we are going to lift that right foot up to tabletop. Give me two more in the ab curls. Last time. Lower down, and I want you to pause here, lift your right heel again, okay? We're going to put it together. On the exhale, we ab curl and right foot comes to tabletop, plant through the left. Neutral through the spine or imprint if that works best for you. Exhale, gentle nod of the chin. Feel the brace of the abdominal wall. Ab curl up, knee lifts to tabletop. Inhale, everything lowers down. Now, because we are moving with our breath and we are doing that slow endurance breath, you're not going to get a ton of reps in, and we do not care about speed. Slow it down. We're going for connection. With that ab curl, make sure you're not just lifting your head up. You are really getting those upper shoulder blades off the mat. Think fold at the sternum. Twice more. We're maintaining neutral through that lower spine unless you're taking imprint. And now this time you're going to curl up and you're going to pause for me. So holding at the top, can you curl up a little higher? We're going to maintain the ab curl and we're going to lower and lift the leg. So inhale, right toes tap. Exhale, back to tabletop. Inhale, toes tap. Exhale, up. There's no doming through the abdomen, so we're maintaining that abdominal engagement as we do this. Notice, is your lower back getting grippy? That is a sign that an imprint or lengthened lower back position may be best for you. 3 more. Last time. Foot lowers all the way to the mat, lower head, neck, and shoulders. Arms can come down by your side. You can give me a quick windshield wiper of the knees in case hip flexors were getting a little grippy. So we're going to repeat that on the other side. So feet hips distance apart, neutral through the spine and the lower back, unless you want to take imprint, in which case engage through the abdominals, gently lengthen the lower back to the mat without squeezing your glutes. So we can start with arms down by our side. Right foot stays planted. This time I want you to lift the left heel up. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, initiate with the breath, feel the brace of the abdominal wall, then lift the knee up to tabletop. Inhale to lower. So when you do that exhale, you don't just want to feel your ribs kind of squeezing in and your upper abs gripping. You want to make sure this lower abdominal wall, you feel just that gentle brace, that gentle tension. Once you have that connection, lift the leg. 3 more. Last time. You can plant the foot all the way down on the ground. Hands are going to come to the base of your skull, elbows wide, but not so wide you flare the ribs. Now we're going to do our ab curl. On the exhale, it's a lengthening of the back of the neck, a gentle nod of the chin. You fold at the sternum, come into the ab curl, gazes at your knees. Inhale to lower. Trying not to just get the head off the mat, but get the majority of your shoulder blades off as well. So at the top of your ab curl, you're just kind of balancing at the base, at the bottom of those shoulder blades. We're going to put the 2 movements together. So with the ab curl, we will add in that lift of the left leg to tabletop. In 3, 2, 1, pause with your head on the mat, and now let's lift that left heel, neutral through the pelvis, or if you want to take imprint, find imprint. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, feel the brace of the abdominal wall, ab curl up, left leg to tabletop. Inhale, everything lowers. Keep going. Our hands at the base of our skull are providing support for the neck, but we're not pulling on our head, okay? So make sure that chin isn't jamming down to your chest. 3 more. And then the next time you come up, you're going to hold in that ab curl. Hold in the ab curl. Can you get 1 inch higher? Gaze at the knees. On an inhale, we're going to lower the left toes, tap the mat. Exhale, lift back up to tabletop. Maintaining the ab curl. If this is too much maintaining your ab curl, lower head, neck, and shoulders to the mat. Just worry about lifting and lowering that left leg. Almost there. Give me 4 more and then you're done with this core section. 3 more, don't lose height on that ab curl. Exhale, lift for 2. Last time, lift, lower the foot to the mat, lower head, neck, and shoulders, and we can windshield wiper those knees, arms down by your side. Okay, so we're gonna come into some hip bridge work now, and we're gonna grab our pillow, and we're going to put it between our legs so that we have some inner thigh engagement. Engaging through the inner thighs can help us connect to the deep core and the pelvic floor. So I just wanted to do this variation of bridge work today. So because we're squeezing in on that pillow, we're going to have our feet closer together than we would in many other hip bridge variations. We want to make sure the heels are under the knees, so don't walk them in too close to your butt. Arms are down by your side. But I'm just going to have mine up so you can see what's going on, okay? But yours down by your side for support. Now I want you to think back to what we did in the warm-up, that roll of the pelvis to imprint and neutral. We are going to do that, but build off of it, rolling our hips up into a glute bridge position, okay? It's called a hip roll. So start at neutral, you have that natural curve. As you exhale, use your core, your obliques, to start to roll the hip bones and your bottom ribs towards each other. Once you're lengthened through the lower back on the mat, I want you to push your feet into the floor, fire through the glutes, and vertebrae by vertebrae, I want you to peel your hips up into a low glute bridge position. Stay for an inhale. And now as you exhale, let's reverse the rolling of the spine. So we're articulating vertebrae by vertebrae, mid-spine, lower spine, down to the mat, and then release the pelvis, coming back to neutral. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, engage the core, start to roll into imprint. Once lower back is on the mat, fire through the glutes, press your feet into the floor, continue to peel up into that low glute bridge. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, roll it down. We're squeezing gently in on the pillow as we do this. Because our feet are close together, you may not get your hips up very high, and that is fine. Inhale to prepare, exhale. Roll the pelvis, peeling those hips up into our bridge. Stay for an inhale. Vertebrae by vertebrae, lower down. We're going to do this just one more time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, roll through imprint, fire the glutes, press the feet into the floor, squeeze the pillow, lift those hips up, stay for an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to roll down, articulating the spine, come through neutral. Now from here, we're going to maintain neutral. We're just going to do a straight lift and lower, so there's no more roll. Let's make sure we have tension on the pillow, so you're squeezing in, connected to the inner thighs. Arms are down by your side, but I'm just going to continue to keep mine up so you can see what's going on. Exhale, press your feet into the floor, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. So again, don't worry so much about how high your hips are getting up. When we have our feet closer together like we do today, you probably won't get your hips up as high as you would if we had our feet hips distance apart, okay? Now I want you to notice as you lift, where are you feeling the squeeze coming from as you rise to the top? You want to feel your glutes squeeze. You don't want to just feel your lower back clenching. So let's make sure that we're thinking of reaching the tailbone towards our knees so that our pelvis is staying in a more neutral alignment instead of having this big arch to the lower back. We don't want that. Think neutral. Give me 4 more and then we're going to hold at the top. Exhale, lift for 3, 2, and this time you go to the top, you're going to hold at the top, okay? We're not flaring through the ribs. And from here, you're just going to give me a little pulse in on the pillow. So squeeze it on the pillow. You probably can't even see me do it. It's small. In. Ooh, I don't know about you guys, but my inner thighs are talking to me. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, squeeze in for 3, 2, 1. I want you to lower your hips down. Hand comes to the pillow and then just butterfly your knees out to the side, okay? And you can give me a little rock side to side here. So we're going to do that one more time, okay? So we'll start with the hip rolls. We'll do the straight lift and lower, and we'll hold at the top, and you'll give me those little inner thigh squeezes. All right, so your feet, they may not be touching, but they're closer in together, so we have some tension on that pillow, squeezing in. Arms down by your side. I'm just going to have mine up so they're out of the way. We're going to start with the roll. So we're neutral to start, but as we exhale, We engage through those abdominals to vertebrae by vertebrae, flatten through the lower back, and then peel, tailbone lifts up, lower spine lifts up, come to that bridge, stay for an inhale. Exhale, reverse that roll, articulating the spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae, lands on the mat, rolling through neutral. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, roll it up, coming into that bridge. Stay for a breath. Exhale, roll it down. We're just going to do that one more time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, roll it down through neutral. And now we're going to maintain neutral, and we're just going to do a straight lift and lower. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lower. Our feet are pressing down into the mat. We have a gentle squeeze in on that pillow. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Think the lift isn't coming from your low back arching. The lift is coming from that hip hinge and the glutes driving. In 3, you're going to hold those hips up. In 2, next time up, hold those hips up. Give me a little pulse in on that pillow to finish, okay? Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, pulse in 4. For 3, we finish with a hold. In 2, your last squeeze in on that pillow and hold. Make sure you're not losing height through the hips, but they don't have to be super high. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Lower your hips down. You can grab the pillow, butterfly the knees wide, rock side to side. So we're going to come into some side body work up next. So to transition into it, I want you to keep the pillow. We're going to use it. We're going to lay our head on it. Doesn't that sound nice? I want you to take your, let's see, how about you mirror me? So take your left leg and your left arm long, and then just roll onto the left side of your body. So you're mirroring me. So my right is your left. So I want you to put the pillow under your head so that our neck is in line with the rest of our spine without us having to hold it there. Your bottom arm can reach forward, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can bend the elbow and have it under your head. I'm going to have mine out forward like this. Now we want to make sure we're in one long line, so you can kind of use the front edge of your mat to gauge. You want your shoulders and hips and heels in one nice line, okay? And both legs are going to be straight. Our bottom leg to start is going to stay anchored down so you can press it into the floor. Now we're going to be engaged through the side of our body. So instead of sinking down, collapsing down, I want you to think this bottom waist is lifting up, engaged to these obliques, and that's going to help hold our pelvis nice and steady. Now your top fingertips can tent on the floor in front of you for support, or if you want a challenge, you can reach up to the ceiling or have them on your hip. So we're going to start with a lift and lower of this top leg. I want you to point through the ankle as you lift. I want you to flex as you lower. Point to lift, flex to lower. Now, when the leg lifts up, don't collapse into this bottom side body, okay? So think equal length through both sides of the waist the whole time. The movement is coming from the hip joint. It's not coming from collapsing into our spine and moving our spine laterally, okay? Point to lift, flex to lower. If that overcomplicates things, just hold it gently pointed or gently flex, whatever works best for you, okay? We're open through the chest so this top shoulder doesn't roll forward. I know it's a lot of form tips, a lot of things to think about. Don't worry if you're not getting everything perfect the first time, of course. Kind of the whole point of it, though, what the message that I hope is being driven home is that the whole body is connected. So this movement, it's a leg lift, but we also care about what's going on through the midsection, through the torso, our shoulder alignment. It's all connected. Now, next time you lift that leg up, I want you to hold it at the hover, and I just want you to flex and point. Flex and point. You're reaching long through this leg. Maybe that outer hip is starting to talk to you a little bit. Just point and flex. Now, we're going to hold the foot flexed up next. In 2, 1, I want you to flex the foot, hold it, flex, and now give me a little bend stretch through your knee. It's like a little kick. Kick. We're still engaged to the side body, breathing as we do this. Kick, kick. You're not excessively arching into your back. Brace through the core. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to hold this leg at a hover, but I want it pointed. And now the bottom leg is going to go up to meet the top. So as you exhale, I want you to lift your bottom leg off of the mat to reach the top one. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift and lower. We have our fingertips tented here for support. Lift and lower. So we're working this outer hip, outer line of the leg on this top right leg. We're working the inner thighs on our bottom left leg. Give me just 4 more. 3 more. 2, 1, and I want you to lower both legs down. Now we have a little more work in the side body position to go on this side, all right? I want you to take your bottom left leg and I want you to hop it forward about 6 inches to a foot. So now it's forward at an angle, and that's just going to help with balance support. If it's more comfortable for you to do a bent knee, a bent leg, that is another option, okay? Now we're going to lift this top right leg back up to hip height. I know it's tired. This is going to be quick. And we're going to sweep it forward and back, keeping it parallel to the floor. So we're going to sweep it forward. We're going to flex through the ankle, sweep it back. Point, kick it forward, flex, sweep it back. Now, I want you to notice, we talked a little bit about this in our mini lesson and our mini class on the pelvis. I want you to notice if as you kick forward, you are wanting to tuck under through your tailbone. We don't want that. We want to maintain a neutral pelvic position. So if you're tight through the hamstrings might be wanting to pull that pelvis into a tuck. Don't let it, okay, though? Just make the motion smaller. So maybe you only kick forward a foot or 2. That's fine. Mine is not very big. Now, next time that leg sweeps forward, you're going to hold it forward without tucking your tailbone. So think, reach your tailbone long, brace through the core, and we are just holding here. This is where you finish. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend both knees, lower the legs. Awesome job. So let's press ourselves up. You can plant this right hand down, and we're going to come up and swing our legs around to get a counter stretch for this outer right hip, okay? So mirroring me, we're going to sweep this right arm up, lean over to the left a little bit so we get a nice stretch to counter all that work we just did for that outer hip. Great job. So we're going to do that whole side body series on the other side now. So I'm just going to take my pillow to the other side of the mat. We're going to lay it down. Mirroring me, we'll lay down on the right side of our body, resting the head on the pillow. That's just going to hold our neck in alignment with the rest of our spine. And you can have this bottom arm under your head if that's more comfortable, or you can reach it forward. I want you open across the chest. And now let's use the front edge of our mat to make sure we are in one long line. So you want shoulders, hips, heels lined up, neutral here. We're engaged through the bottom side oblique. So instead of resting this bottom side body down, think of almost a lift away, just an engagement through here. Top fingertips can tent on the floor for support, but don't roll your shoulder forward. Now that we've gone down the whole chain, we're going to lift and lower this top leg. So we're going to point to lift, flex to lower. Point to lift, flex to lower. We're doing this without rocking through our pelvis. So we're holding the pelvis neutral and stacked, equal length through both sides of the waist. If this top side is crunching and the leg is going very high, you're not maintaining the position we want, okay? So be mindful of that. We're reaching long through the leg, worried more about that length than we are about height. We're going to hold at the top, coming up in 4, 3, 2. Next time that leg lifts up, hold the lift. Make sure you're engaged the oblique still, and we're just going to flex and point. Now, if doing this causes cramping, it may just be that a sign that maybe some of the muscles we're recruiting are a little underworked, and this is sort of waking them up. Sometimes that's what cramping signals, especially when it's in the foot. So a little tip would be to think of really making this movement happen from the ankle more so than the toes. So don't pull so much with the toes and push so much with the toes. Think of the movement coming from the ankle and almost relax the toes, and that can help if you're having a lot of cramping. I want you to hold with that foot flex, and now it's a little bend stretch through the knee like you're kicking something. Bend, stretch. Really reach through the heel. Think length. Push away. Now we're going to hold this leg up. We'll be pointed, and we're going to get the bottom leg involved. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg lifted, pointed, and now the bottom leg is going to exhale, lift to meet it. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeezes up and lowers. Getting inner thighs on that bottom leg, but we still really challenge endurance through this outer hip. You have these top fingertips down for support, but make sure you're not rolling forward through this shoulder. Give me 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Lower both legs down. Take a second to rest. All right, so now we're going to change the position of this bottom leg. We're going to hop it forward like a kickstand, about 6 to 12 inches. If you're more comfortable with the knee bent, you can do that as well, okay? Now make sure in that one long line, lift it through the bottom side obliques. Bring this top leg to a hover, and now we're going to sweep it forward. You're going to flex, sweep it back. Point, sweep it forward. It stays parallel to the floor. Sweep it back. Now notice as it sweeps forward and back, are you tucking under through the tailbone? We don't want that. So it might mean you need to make the range of motion a little smaller. Maybe you just kick forward 12 inches and back. Point forward, length of the tailbone, back. You have one hold to get through. We'll hold with that leg swept forward in 4, 3, 2. As you sweep back, squeeze into the glutes. Last one in the full sweep, and then I want you to kick it forward, hold it forward. You're not tucking under through the tailbone. Keep that leg parallel to the floor. Don't let it drop down. Hold, stay lifted through the bottom side body. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend both knees, lower the leg. Awesome job. So you can plant your left foot into the mat and lift it up, and then let's kick our legs around to get that counter stretch. So your left arm is going to reach up and sweep over to the right so we get the nice opening here. All right, so we don't need our pillow anymore. You can put it off to the side. We're going to come into a little bit of push-up work, but we're not doing full push-ups. We're kind of doing the prep work for them, okay? So we're going to start by finding a tabletop position. So you're going to spread out through the hands. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to go back. I want you to think to the warm-up when we were doing that retraction and protraction of the shoulder blades. See how they're sliding in towards each other and sliding wide? We're going to do that here in tabletop, okay? So in the tabletop position, arms are straight, but you're unlocked through the elbows, length through the spine, and let's start doing that. So you're going to slide the shoulder blades in towards each other so your torso kind of lowers a couple inches, and you're going to press the mat away, fill the space between the shoulder blades as they slide wide. So your shoulder blades are gliding across your back. As you lower, exhale, press away. Inhale, they glide in. Exhale, they glide wide as you push that mat away. So we're staying straight through the arms. The movement is coming from the scapula gliding across our back. I know it's a little funky to get the hang of. I want you to notice as you do this, are you dipping your head down? I want you to maintain neutral through the spine, so length through the back of the neck, and we're also trying not to flare through the ribs. Give me just 4 more like this. 3, 2, last time. Push the mat away and hold in this stable position. Now we're going to walk our knees back and together, lowering the hips. So we're coming into a modified plank position. Now I need you to brace through the core, gentle squeeze of your glutes. And now in this modified push-up position, can we go back to that retraction, protraction? So it's going to be harder. The shoulder blades glide in towards each other. You push the mat away, they glide wide. Little glide, down and up. Now, if this is too much, I want you to return to tabletop, okay? Walk your knees in. It's harder with them back. Give me 4 more like this. 3, 2. Last time. Press the floor away, send your butt back to your heels, flip the palms up towards the ceiling, child's pose. Little wrist break, so we're going to do that again. So if you want to roll out the wrist for a second, do that, switch direction. And then we're going to come up back to tabletop, okay? So start with knees under hips, spread out through those hands. Length through the spine, retract, push it away, protract. So you want to maintain abdominal engagement as you do this. So you don't want to flare through the ribs and arch into the back and then round as you push away. We want to maintain a nice strong position. So you can stay here in the tabletop, or if you want to advance it, we're going to walk those knees back. So press them out away, pause, walk those knees back, lowering the hips, gentle squeeze of the glutes, engage that abdominal wall, go back to the retract, protract, protract, maintain length through the back of the neck, maintain your neutral spine. If this is too much, do it in tabletop. I know it's tough. Give me 4 more, 3 more, 2, last time. Send the butt back to your heels, flip the palms up, child's pose. Awesome job. So this movement that we keep doing with the scapula, it's called a serratus push-up, where that is a very foundational movement moving towards push-ups. You want to really strengthen that serratus anterior muscle. That's why they're called serratus push-ups. And you want to get that controlled movement of the shoulder blades as you start to build up to a push-up. So you can stick with just the scapula like we've been doing, or we are going to try to do a modified push-up, just a small one, okay? So we're not lowering chest all the way to the mat. So I want you to come forward, spread out through the fingers, hands are under shoulders, they're not way out here, okay? They're under your shoulders. Now we're going to walk the knees back, lowering the hips until we're in that nice diagonal line. So think from knees to top of head, one nice diagonal. I want you to think back to the retraction, protraction, but we're going to add just a little bend to the elbows. So as you inhale, shoulder blades slide in towards each other, elbows bend, lower down just a couple inches. Exhale, straighten the arms, push the floor away, fill the space between your shoulder blades. Keep going like that. So it's a little baby push-up. We're maintaining that neutral spine, and we're thinking about the shoulder blades gliding together and gliding wide as we do this. Give me 3 more. 2. Last time, down, up, and I want you to sit it back on your heels and let's roll out through the wrists. Awesome job. Okay, that is your push-up work for the day. And you can gradually start building from there. So we're going to finish up this class prone, okay, which means we're going to lay down on the stomach. We're going to do some supported prone work though. So a nice gentle way to kind of round out class. We've done stuff for the front of the body, the sides of the body, finishing by getting mid-back. So let's come down to lay on the mat, and I want you to take your legs about hips distance, and you're going to press them down. Now, if you start to feel pinching in your low back throughout this, try taking your legs even wider or try externally rotating them so the toes point out. Otherwise, though, let's start hips distance parallel. Now, I want you to take your forearms down and wide, kind of like goalpost position. So they'll probably sort of split the mat or maybe even just be outside the mat. If you have broad shoulders and long limbs like I do, with a big wingspan. All right, now your nose is lightly going to tap the mat here in our starting position, and I want you to think brace through the abdominal wall, okay? So we're not dumping into our lower back and pushing our stomach down. Instead, you're thinking engage those abdominal muscles, maintain that brace. On an inhale, we're going to reach long through the crown of our head, and we're going to come up and just to this small supported extension. Your forearms stay down, and as you exhale, we're going to lower, nose taps the mat. Inhale, grow long and come up. Exhale to lower. Keep going like that. So where is this lift coming from? It is coming from your mid-back. Think base of the shoulder blades. It's not coming from your lower back. If you find yourself losing abdominal engagement as you lift, then I want you to change the breath pattern. I want you to exhale, feel the brace of your core, and then come up, and then inhale to lower, okay? So if that is overcomplicating it, then just don't even worry about the breath. Just make sure you're moving up on either the inhale or exhale and down on the reverse, okay? So just don't hold your breath, bottom line. Now we're not craning through the back of our neck. So as you come up, your gaze is going to shift forward, but just to the front edge of the mat. You're not trying to look forward, okay? You're going to give me 2 more. Last one, and then I want you to pause with your nose just lightly tapping the mat. Now maintaining that brace through the core. On an exhale, we're going to lift our arms up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then inhale, return them back down to the mat. Exhale, brace the core, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the arms, inhale, lower them. So it's a little reverse fly. Just 3 more. Last time, and then we're going to combo the 2 movements we've been doing. So forearms lower. You lift your extension. You lower nose to the mat. You reverse fly, lifting the arms. You lower them down. Extend through the spine and lower. Reverse fly the arms up and down. Keep going like that. One more in the combo, and then we're going to hold the extension. So forearms down, we come up into the extension. I want you to pause here. You're kind of bouncing on your bottom ribs, length through the spine. Now maybe you just stay here. If you're up for the challenge, we're going to do that reverse fly, but holding the extension. So you're going to brace through the core. Exhale, arms lift and lower. If it's too much doing both at once, maybe you try alternating. Right lifts and then left lifts. And if that is not happening, then I just want you to keep your arms down and we're just focusing on the hold. Give me just 2 more. 1 more. And then lower down, bring your left cheek to the mat, bend your knees, windshield wiper them side to side, relax. Awesome job. So we're going to go through that one more time, just a little quicker, okay? And then we're done with class. So you can keep your forearms down, goalpost position, legs long, press them into the floor for support, engage to the abdominal wall, nose lightly taps the floor, and then from here we're going to do that extension up and down. So in Pilates, it's typically taught lift on the inhale or do spinal extension on the inhale. But if you feel more supported lifting on the exhale, that's what I want you to do. And that is what I am going to do, especially as we come into our combo. One more like this, and then you're going to hold nose to the mat. Nose to the mat. Now it's the arms. They lift and lower. Don't just focus on the arms lifting. Think about where the arms are attaching on your back with those shoulder blades. They glide in and lower. Twice more. They lift and lower. Last time. Lift, lower. Let's combo. So it's spinal extension. Lower down, nose taps the mat. Lift those arms up and lower. Next time you come up into the extension, I want you to hold in that extension. Length through the spine, engage the abdominals, pressing those legs down into the floor. Maybe you hold here. Maybe you alternate, one arm lifting at a time. Maybe both go up. We're going to do 4, 3, 2. Last time, right cheek to the mat, bend the knees, windshield wiper them. Awesome work. And that is your class. We're going to cool it down. And let's come onto our back for the cool down so you can stretch out through one arm and leg and roll to your back. And once you're on your back, let's take our left leg long. You can hug the right knee in towards your chest. And then we're going to take that right knee across over to the left, coming into a spinal twist. And from here, you can cactus or goalpost the arms, whatever feels good. And don't feel like this knee needs to come all the way down to the floor. You don't need to go that deep into the twist. Let's come back through center and let's stretch that leg long and do the other side. So left knee hugs in towards your chest. And then we take it across our body to the right into a twist, opening up through the arms if that feels good. We're going to come through center. Both legs can go long and arms can just rest down by your side, palms up or palms down. Close your eyes and let's just finish with a moment of stillness. Don't overthink the breathing. I just want you to kind of check in with your body. How are you feeling after that? With every exhale, think of melting into the floor. And you can stay here as long as feels good. But if you're ready to come out of it and get on with your day, we can roll to one side and we can press ourselves up to seated. Awesome job today. Hope you enjoyed this class. My goal for it was for it to be beginner friendly, but still challenging within that very accessible format. So hopefully you got something out of it, maybe learned a little something. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. If you're doing the whole Intro to Pilates series, next video will follow this, will be another little lesson. If you want to go back and learn more about the things we worked on today, you can always go back and start from the beginning. All right, thanks for working out with me today, and I'll see you next time.